I wanted to ask you, what do you recommend for people who are older, like me, getting really, to be honest with you, I lost a lot of weight years ago, probably 10 years ago, by doing intermittent fasting. I lost 50 pounds and I've kept that off, believe it or not. I still
Amazing.
do time restricted eating. I
Mhm.
feel the muscle loss. And so what would you recommend for older folks to get themselves back into shape? Walking, I don't know. But I
Yeah.
think the muscle training, the strength training is the one that I'm, as I go back to the gym, I'm thinking, if I go back in there thinking about what I could lift 25 years ago, I'm going to be going to the doctor after that.
Right. So, okay, my biggest thing is strength training. That's what I do. It's my biggest the biggest thing that I want people to know as they get older is you need to continue to strength train, which is different than working in your garden. It's different than taking a walk. All of those things are great. I think walking is a wonderful benefit for everyone, but strength training, especially when we talk about muscle reduction as you get older, as well as osteoporosis and osteopenia, we want strong bones and we want strong muscles to support those bones so that, if we fall, we can catch ourselves. If we fall, we don't break something. So going back into the gym, correct, you can't lift what you lifted 25 years ago yet. I do see people online, social media, you can see all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I'll see people in their 80s who are still deadlifting or squatting, but they didn't start there, right? They started lifting the fives and tens and taking it slow and listening to their body. Most important thing. But it's also good to progress. You can't stay at those fives and tens forever. You want to continue to get stronger and you can still build muscle, making sure that you're eating enough, all the things. But making sure that we're incorporating the strength training is the most important thing that someone who's aging can do.
What do you think about creatine?
I think it's beneficial for some people. There's a lot of studies done. The only study that I've actually looked at is the one in regards to assisting with like depression. It can, according to this study, reduce like depression symptoms if you take it consistently in small doses. One of my clients had looked into it to see if it helps with ADHD focus, actually. So I think that creatine, it's very important with creatine that you are lifting weights, that you're exercising, and that you're drinking enough water. Because personal story, I took creatine a couple of times, and if you don't drink enough water, like your stomach hurts. It is not comfortable. So making sure that you're very hydrated. I would say creatine is something that it's not the end all be all. You got to start lifting the weights first. If you talk to your doctor and you find that creatine is a good addition to it, then more power to you, but it's not necessary for starting.
Yeah. I mean, I would never have brought it up at some of my age in particular, what was it, back in the late 90s or something, where it was surging, mostly around bodybuilders, right?
Yeah.
But I think there has been some studies talking about creatine in the brain,
Yep.
helping brain
Mhm.
fog, maybe helping memory, and a lot of other benefits as well. But so I'm just kind of curious to see what you
Yeah.
said about that.
Food for thought, right? I would say
Yeah.
do your own research and talk
Yep.
to your doctor. Those are two very good
Absolutely.
places to start with creatine.
All right. Disclaimer.
Yeah,
This is not medical advice. All right.
exactly.
Let's see. What things do you think are important when it comes to fitness that aren't talked about often enough? I'm sure we've touched on some of them. Feel free to underscore if that makes sense.
Some things in fitness that are often like neglected, not talked about. That you don't need to go hard every single time that you go to the gym. Like, you might go to the gym and see the people who are, bench pressing 200 pounds, squatting 400 pounds, doing all the things. What you need to know is they're probably not doing that every day. In fact, they shouldn't be doing that every day. There are periods of rest that need to happen in order to still see growth. We call them deload weeks. So giving your body a chance to decrease the loads that you're lifting and giving yourself a break. I think a lot of times with fitness, it's people just always it's like entrepreneurship. People think it's a grind and you always have to be going, lifting heavier, doing all the things, when in reality the rest is just as important so that your body can recover and continue to grow in the ways that you want to see muscle growth, reducing stress levels, all those things. So it's more than just going to the gym and doing, an hour or two of really heavy lifting. So I think that's a really big thing is we have a misconception of what fitness needs to look like. It doesn't need to be an hour or two in the gym. It can be 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, you made me think also, great points. You made me think too that when I lost that weight, taking that intermittent fasting approach, I had to sort of reframe myself to think about the way I was going to eat for the rest of my life versus the whole diet was somewhat like a project kind of thing. Well, once I get there, then I'll be at that point forever, no matter what, right? Because I've hit that goal. And we have so many things that are that way today. I'm going to go do this and then I'll have it. Maybe exercise, same thing. It's a lifestyle.